allow me to introduce Dr. Vanja Garaj, Head of Brunel Design at Brunel University, who will discuss their 32-month project with National Gallery and Shanghai Science and Technology Museum.
My name is Vanja Garaj, and I'm Head of Design at Brunel University, London. Today I'm going to talk about StoryFutures China, which is a project I manage in collaboration with several partners in the UK here and in China. The project has the full title is of the project is StoryFutures China, UK-China transnational strategic partnership for immersive storytelling in museums and cultural institutions. The project is funded by Arts and Humanities Research Council. It is meant to last for 30 months. It started in February this year, and the scheduled finish is in July 2022. The funding is provided under the UK-China Research Industry Creative Partnerships Call. The full set of partners in the UK includes Brunel University, London, Royal Holloway, and the National Gallery. And in China, we work with Tongji University, Shanghai Science and Technology Museum, and Shanghai Foremost Group, which is a company specializing in designing and developing immersive experiences for museums and galleries, mainly operating in China. The project aims to develop a UK-China strategic framework to enable sustainable growth of the audience for museums and cultural institutions by the creative use of immersive technologies. We are focusing on the strategies to grow the audience transnationally, expanding the cultural trade between the UK and China. Within the project, we address 4 different topics. You can call them 4 different objectives, and we work with 4 work packages. The first one is creative, where we are looking into creating innovative, immersive cultural experiences. The next aspect is business, where we look into trying to understand and develop value networks and business models that would enable the transnational cultural exchange between UK and China. Then we are looking at user experience, where we would be ideally building a user experience model and blueprint, which can translate the national experiences to the transnational, and then support the audience engagement both on site and remotely. So we're looking at the experiences which are not on display just within the institutions, but can be accessed from home, for example. And then the 4th aspect is the audience research, where we are hoping to gain a rich audience insight into the concepts of immersion and presence, which would then promote the scalable adoption of the immersive tech in the cultural institutions of both countries. In terms of methodology, we are a mix of creatives and academic researchers. So we kind of try to promote both of those lines of inquiry, creativity and academic research. And within the academic research, we have people from media, arts, design, business, and psychology involved in the project. The key project deliverables, we are looking at delivering 3 kind of main things. One is a immersive experience which is going to be created for the National Gallery, and then which will be on display here in the gallery and in China in the Shanghai Science and Technology Museum. We are then also hoping to develop or create an immersive experience in China. And finally, we are looking at publishing a strategic framework report, which would somehow summarize a business model, user experience, design model and blueprint, and the audience insight data, which we're going to be sourcing through the project. In terms of the topics of the immersive experiences which we're hoping to create, we are basically playing with the ideas of, because the two institutional partners which we have are working in quite different areas, we are looking into somehow merging the concepts of science in art, which is the underlying idea for the immersive experience that will be created in the UK for the National Gallery. And then in China, we are going to be looking into the concepts of art in science. Now it's still too early to kind of disclose more detail in this. At the moment, we have been working for the last 6 months with both partners to try to develop and focus the creative briefs in those two areas. StoryFutures China is a spin-out of two other major projects which deal with immersive kind of experiences. One is StoryFutures, and the other one is StoryFutures Academy. There are other presentations at this year's conference which cover those two projects. So I will not be talking too much about them, but they are StoryFutures China developed as a spin-out of those two. Another thing which influenced how StoryFutures China was set up is the previous work on StoryFutures in collaboration with the National Gallery, which resulted in a very interesting AR experience that was in display on gallery for a while and is now being developed into a more permanent display, and which was titled Virtual Veronese. So that kind of gave us the inspiration to try to work further along with the National Gallery and expand their work expand this work to China as well. The work so far has been challenging for the obvious reasons. If things did not develop the way they did with the pandemic, we would have had a number of live workshops where we would be visiting China and the Chinese team would be visiting us in the UK. We cannot do this. So since the start of the project, we have been working kind of online using Zoom. This is a example of how that works. We had some quite large workshops which involved all partners and up to 30, even 40 people at the same time discussing different ideas. We did go through a number of kind of initial ideas, and we are now quite close to defining something more. Some of these workshops have been quite interactive, included some brainstorming sessions with different partners. We use different online tools for that. In this case here, I have the example. We're using a tool called Klaxoon, and that has been working quite nicely. As the final step, as the final kind of slide in today's presentation, I want to just mention the next step in the project. So we are now at the stage where our creative brief has been signed off by the National Gallery, and we are going to be soon publishing a call for production company to kind of join us and start working on that immersive experience for the National Gallery. The budget for this has been set at around 150K, and the call is going to be published shortly on storyfutures.com website. You can see the URL here.
Thank you, Dr. Vanja Garaj. I look forward to experiencing the result of this co-production at either the National Gallery in the UK or the Shanghai Science and Technology Museum in China, and hopefully both.